Yo, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy Obey who say, what's up, Records Lab Production, back at you with another one. About to get in this tutorial. And today what we got for you, we talking about latency. And we gonna talk about the latency in the plugins in your edit. And basically, we just gonna pull up the latency. Alright. So this is what you got. All the ones that's highlighted with the green, this is basically the ones that's taking up CPU, giving up a lot of CPU. And you can see them moving around, jumping around. And these are just EQs and compressors. Different brands, different companies. So I'm going to show you all the ones that's highlighted are plugins that I'm not using in the edit. And all the ones that are not highlighted are the ones that I'm using in the edit. But you can see that some of the ones that's highlighted have CPU usage already, and some even have latency. So we're gonna go and see what's going on. Alright. Basically these are the plugins. You got the C2 2A leveling amplifier from Cakewalk. This free. You can go download this for free. But it's gonna be $100, so you wanna hurry up and download this. It's basically the white 2A, all the 2A plugin emulations, but it's a good simulation. It's zero latency, but it's CPU heavy. You see, like I say, 'cause I ain't using it. And then the CPU go up even more when you put it on the track that you're using, that you got audio coming through, MIDI, anything going through the edit part in the track. If you got anything coming through here, the CPU will go up. Let me show you what I mean. Hold on. It's moving down, and I think it was at like 40 something at first. Let me see. I was around the same thing. Let me press play and do it. Alright, so I'm gonna press play. Alright, so it's using more latency. More CPU when it's not running. It'll lose some of the CPU once it's running. So, but you basically can see that mostly all the Scarlett compressors, all the Scarlett EQs, all of them are using a little CPU, no more than 3. It's going up to throughout this cycle of gaining CPU and losing it. It's not going up past 3. So, and they none of them have latency. So you can see the FreeG Mono plugin, same thing. These ain't even going to 1%. So I'm using the sampler. They 0.01 or 0, back and forth, really nothing. And you can see the same thing with the other Focusrite EQ and compressor. They real good. So what this tutorial is really about is that showing that using these type of plugins, these EQs and compressors, are better for you when you start in the mix. When you just getting into it, think about it like as it's your console, it's your SSL, that you starting off with only these things to use from the beginning, and then when you substituting the other plugins in, and you feel like you want to use a certain EQ or compressor or whatever, to save up CPU later on down the project if you want to be having a lot of tracks and you don't want it to be running your CPU heavy, start rendering your tracks with the plugins that you see that's heavy with latency and CPU. So the plugins that you see with latency, like especially like all my Nexus ones and all that, I eventually render all the beat out. So that's going to take a lot of CPU out the project. So when I'm ready to put vocals on it and everything, it'll be more CPU for me to work with. So it's a good idea to be rendering when you know you're using, because most of them, like the T-Rex plugins, are basically supposed to be made for mastering purposes. So they built to be working at high quality all the time. So they're going to take up a lot of CPU. But you got a lot of plugins that don't take up no CPU and latency, and they still work and do the job. So like the IEQ Pro, it don't have no latency. Let's see how much got. Got 0% CPU too, so you know it's gonna be a little bit once it's running on the track too. So that's what you want. You want to use your first EQ compressors. You want to make sure that they at 0 latency, 0 CPU all the time. If you pull up a project and you just make a 20 tracks, right, and all you got on it is compressor and EQ, it should look like this: 0 CPU, 0 latency going across. That's what you want. You don't want them moving about, the CPU going up and down. You don't want that because ain't nothing going on. So you want plugins that's not taking no CPU or latency when you start your project. That's to get you going, to make you be more fluent with making multiple tracks without having a problem, and you be able to use it. And then another reason that I use these plugins for reference is good metering. You got in and out knobs. That's a plus. You got in and out so you can trim and add. So, I like that. And it sound good. They sound good. The red EQ, all these come with the Scarlet products, but I don't know if they still come. I don't know if because they discontinued. I don't know if you still get it. I think you still get it if you get any of the Scarlet products though. But now this the EQ they give now. They give you the red EQ and the red compressor. Same thing though. It got makeup and it got input, so you still got the in and out control. Same thing with the EQ and compressor, and that's what I'm doing. So I'm controlling my in and out, my compressor and my EQ, and I like that. Then I'm always gonna have my gain staging going on here. So this is basically the easy way to set it up. So I run these easy EQs and compressors first, and then once I get it to the mixing point and I might say, all right, I want this sound to be when I want my kick to sound like Then I add colorful, more colorful compressor, EQ, and then when I render the track, I render it out with it in it. And so it is going to be in the kick, be in the snare, be in the hats. It's going to be in all that when I render it out, render the sample to the track. So I hope y'all get something out the video. Thank y'all for watching. Stay tuned. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Go sign up, ledproductions.com. Peace.